Hello and welcome to the beach. Summer is over and we will take one last trip to the beach to watch monster trucks do what monster trucks do. And for the moment that will be racing. As always, we have 16 trucks here to compete and only one of them will make it to the World Finals here through racing. So, let us get on to a little demonstration as to how this track will work. As always, to help us out is the BeamNG monster truck, the website where I got this track and all the monster trucks from. So, they will start on a tabletop, go down the starting line, go up a small ramp here, and have to make a fairly tight turn, and on sand this will not be very easy. As you can see, they go through the cones. Anyway, after that, they go up these crushed cars, make yet another tight turn on the sand here, before then going back up this ramp on the tabletop and right across the line they started from. Now, again, this is sand, so it will be a little bit harder. And our first competitors for round one is the Ron John Surf Shop Ocean Crush and King Crunch. Into the first turn they go, both trucks taking it a little bit wide here. King Crunch make it over to the Crush cars first, followed by Ocean Crush. Into the turn, King Crunch takes it tighter, and King Crunch will be your first winner of the day. Up next is Nitro Circus and Causing Trouble. Off they go down the starting line. And in case you're wondering, no, I don't believe the tires give any difference in traction here, considering Nitro Circus's tires are smoother than Causing Troubles here, but up and over the cars, Nitro Circus goes with the lead into the turn, both trucks taking it wide. Down they go, up the ramp, and it's close, but Nitro Circus will take the win. Up next for round one, Hawaiian Punch and Bigfoot Xbox. Down the starting line they go, off the tabletop, up over this first jump into the first turn. Both trucks taking it pretty good considering the terrain here. Hawaiian Punch with the slight lead as he goes over the crushed cars into the final turn for both trucks. Bigfoot taking it wide, Hawaiian Punch taking it a little too tight, but will bounce off the center of the tabletop and will beat Bigfoot across the finish line. Up next is El Toro Loco and Gravedigger the Legend. Off they go, down the starting line, up the small jump. Into the turn they both go. Both trucks taking that turn pretty nicely. Up and over the crush cars, Gravedigger the Legend with the advantage. Into the turn, Gravedigger the Legend taking it tight. El Toro Loco catching up. And it will be Gravedigger the Legend as El Toro Loco goes off the track sideways. Up next we have High Octane and Black Pearl. Down the starting line to both they go. Into the first turn. High Octane taking it tighter than Black Pearl. Going off the track a little bit. Black Pearl catching up to High Octane into the final turn. High Octane taking it tighter. Up the ramp, and High Octane will beat Black Pearl across the finish line. Up next we have Big Kahuna and Gravedigger. Off they go down the starting line, up the jump, right into the first turn, both trucks kicking the back end out. Up they go, Gravedigger with the slight lead, up and over the crush cars. Into the turn he goes, Big Kahuna taking it wide, Gravedigger taking it wide too. But it will seem Big Kahuna will take the lead and beat Gravedigger in round one. Up next we have Maximum Destruction, or Max D, against Green Machine. Off they go, up the first little jump, into the turn, both trucks go, Max D taking it a little too tight there. Green Machine getting a little squirrely in the straightaway, pulling ahead of Max D, but it's all down to this turn here. Seems Max D's in a little bit of a better position than Green Machine, as Max D beats Green Machine across the finish line. Up next for round 1, Tonka versus Hang 10. Final race of round 1, off they go. Up the jump, into the first turn they go. Hang 10 with the lead so far, up and over the crush cars. Into the final turn for Hang 10, looks like he's going to beat Tonka across the line. Up he goes, and Hang 10 beats Tonka across the line and then rolls it over, losing almost all the body panels as well. And that will be it for round number 1. Alright, so we had some pretty interesting races here. A lot of trucks getting all slippery on the track here, but they all seem to have done fairly well, except for Hang 10, who, rolled over. Anyway, here's the bracket, as you can see, and let us move on to round 2. Up first, we have King Crunch and Nitro Circus. Off they go, down the starting line, up and over the small ramp, into the turn as usual. Nitro Circus seeming to get the better recovery there. Up and over the crush cars, the 2 trucks go into the final turn. Nitro Circus taking it wide and giving a little tap to the shipping container a couple of times. Who's going to get it across first? It'll be King Crunch, who beats Nitro Circus across the finish line. And Nitro Circus rolls it over on those crush cars. Up next, Hawaiian Punch and Gravedigger the Legend. Off they go, down the starting line, up the small jump, into the turn, both trucks taking it out a little wide. Gravedigger the Legend just running over those cones, taking the lead from Hawaiian Punch. Into the final turn, Gravedigger the Legend with the better position, and will beat Hawaiian Punch across the finish line. Up next for round 2, High Octane and Big Kahuna. Off they go, down the starting line, up over the small jump, into the first turn. Big Kahuna taking it a little bit tighter than High Octane. Big Kahuna with the lead, up and over the crush cars. High Octane following shortly behind. Big Kahuna taking the turn nice and smooth, going up over the finish line, landing out, rolling it over, losing the middle part of the body there, but will beat High Octane. And next up, Max D and Hang 10. Let's see if the removal of body panels will help Hang 10 go across this track a little faster now that they lost some of the weight there. Off they go, Hang 10 getting a little squirrely, getting back into the racing lane. Max D taking the lead. Into the turn they go. Hang 10 taking it wide, and Max D will beat Hang 10 across the finish line. That will be it for round 2. Let us look at what the semifinals has in store for us. Alright, here we are, the trucks that will be competing in the semifinals. 4 trucks remain out of the original 16. One of them will make it to the World Finals. Can Max D get themselves a second slot? I don't know. Let's find out. Up first is Gravedigger the Legend and King Crunch. Off they go, down the starting line. Up they go, into the first turn. Both trucks swinging their back ends out. Gravedigger the Legend seeming to get a little bit better than King Crunch. Up and over the crush cars. The two are neck and neck into this final turn. King Crunch just swept themselves out, and it will be close, but Gravedigger the Legend has taken the win. And finally we have Big Kahuna and Max D. Off they go, down the starting line, up and over the small jump, into the turn here. Big Kahuna taking it quite wide. Max D going over the crush cars. Big Kahuna not too far behind. Into the final turn. Big Kahuna takes it wide. Max D slides across. But Max D will beat Big Kahuna across the finish line. Alright, over here in the left lane we have Max D. Again, Max D already has themselves a spot in the World Finals, but Max D has to defend that spot against Gravedigger the Legend. Gravedigger the Legend here in the right lane. We haven't had a single Gravedigger in the World Finals yet. Will Gravedigger the Legend be the first one? Let's find out. Alright, here they are. Max D and Gravedigger the Legend. Off they go, down the starting line, up over the first jump, into the first turn. Both trucks swinging their rear ends out. Gravedigger the Legend going over the cone yet again. Up and over the crush cars. Gravedigger the Legend has the lead, rolls it over in the final turn, bounces right off the shipping container, and will beat Max D across the finish line. Alright, thank you everyone for watching. Here is your racing winner, Gravedigger the Legend. The first Gravedigger to have a slot in the World Finals, so we'll definitely be seeing them when that comes around. Anyway, be sure to come back for Freestyle. We have these same 16 trucks here. Will Gravedigger the Legend get a second win here in Freestyle? You know, we'll see. May be interesting. Anyway, the sand here definitely made this course a little bit more interesting than what the dirt tracks did. So, let's see what Freestyle will have in store, and I will see you in Freestyle.